Hi everybody, I came out here today to make a video response to Mikma's The Meaning of Life. And I thought I'd do that by sharing an author with you that I absolutely love. His name is Colin Wilson. Colin Wilson writes on such a wide variety of subjects. It's hard to cover all of them to tell you about. He writes about crime, he writes about sociology, he writes about psychology, he writes about philosophy. He's extremely readable. The book that I'm going to read to you today is this. And as trite as it may look, Colin Wilson is a very, very deep thinker. And he has put into words some of the things that I've experienced in my life and a lot of the thoughts that I've had about life. And it was like meeting an old friend when I found him and started reading his views on even just little things. And his most famous book is probably The Outsider, which is a philosophical work, and I highly recommend that. So, without further ado, I would like to read you a little something from the foreword of this book. And I'd love to read you the whole foreword, but you probably all fall asleep with boredom, so I'm going to read you a little bit of it. And this is for you, Mikma. Wordsworth talked about the time of childhood when everything seems apparelled in celestial light. This is because the child knows that there is an infinitely marvelous world out there, and automatically makes that effort that keeps the dynamo working at top speed. Human beings begin to die when they become trapped in the vicious circle, convinced they have seen it all. And unless circumstances force them to continue to make an effort, they sink gently into a kind of swamp of boredom, of taken for grantedness that finally engulfs them. This is why so many people die after they retire from a lifetime of work. Now, obviously, the human race is on a point of an extremely interesting evolutionary development. The first step towards escape from this vicious circle is to recognize that the apparent ordinariness of the world is a delusion. If we could become deeply and permanently convinced that the world out there is endlessly exciting, we would never again allow ourselves to become trapped in the swamp of taken for grantedness. And we would become practically unkillable. Shaw says of his ancients in Back to Methuselah, even in the moment of their death, life does not fail them. Life failure is that feeling that there is nothing new under the sun, and that we all have to accept defeat in the end. If we could learn the mental trick of causing the dynamo to accelerate, this illusion would never again be able to exert its power over us. Let me state my own fundamental belief about human existence. Man consists of a highly complex body, a computer. It has taken millions of years to evolve, controlled by an entity which we call the soul. But to place the spirit in charge of such a complicated piece of machinery is like asking a baby to drive a Rolls-Royce. We fail to understand about 90% of our potentiality. Besides, it is simply too heavy for us to handle comfortably. As we drag this massively heavy body around, we are in a position of a space traveler who has been cast away on a planet where gravity is several times greater than that of Earth. So he cannot even stand upright, and it takes all his strength just to crawl from place to place. When he is galvanized by some emergency, he can summon far more strength and even stagger to his feet. Then he can catch a glimpse of the real answer. that he has to develop far more powerful muscles, mental as well as physical muscles. Whenever I am faced by some exciting challenge or crisis, I can see the answer. I can see then that if I could be galvanized like this all the time, I could rise up to a far higher level of purpose and vitality. Our trouble is that after a crisis, we quickly lose that sense of emergency and sink back into the old, dull, sleepy state in which every molehill becomes a mountain. And the mind falls into a curious apathy in which it loses all sense of purpose. In fact, we are so accustomed to this state that we accept it as normal. We only tend to glimpse our true potentialities when we set out on voyages, either physical or mental. The answer lies in generating, through use of determination, a far more powerful imagination, a sense of reality that will make us continually aware of the potential challenges and problems and keep us in a galvanized state. It is a total absurdity that a man sitting on a train should stare dully out a window when his mind contains a vast library of past experiences that could keep him entertained for years. All this explains, of course, why we spend so much of our time seeking out challenges and stimulants. Travel, adventure, sport, sex, alcohol. It is a pathetic and misguided attempt to hurl ourselves beyond these stupid limitations. If we could learn to identify and face the basic problem, we could have taken the most decisive step towards solving it. We would become incapable of boredom, and discouragement would lose its power over us. We would begin to see the way out of our trap that has been killing off human beings prematurely for thousands of generations. Well, that's just a little bit of Colin Wilson, and as I said, I just wanted to share a little bit of him with you. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, this book is really kind of fun, and he brings up some interesting points about some old stuff that we've been seeing around for years on, Ripley's Believe It or Not, or the Discovery Channel. He goes just a little bit deeper and makes you think, taps your brain a little bit, makes the dynamo work. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it and you do like Colin Wilson and you'd like to hear more from this book, by all means leave a comment. I'd be glad to read some more. If you don't worry, you won't hurt my feelings. I'm still going to enjoy him anyway. So I hope you enjoyed that. And Mikma, it may not be the answer to what is the meaning of life, but maybe it says something about the way we live it. You guys have a great day. Thanks. Take care.